Welcome back to the channel, everybody. This is Anthony with Apex. Thank you guys for stopping back in for another video. Today, we're going to be fixing the recoil starter on this blower. So if you saw one of my recent videos that I rebuilt the carb on this, got this thing going in, it was a trash to treasure video, but today, we're gonna be replacing the starter rope. So as you saw in that last video, the starter rope was frayed, and now let's go ahead and repair this thing and see if we can get this thing repaired. So that way, when I go to sell this thing, the customer isn't pulling on it and it snaps right when they buy this thing. So we're gonna go ahead and fix it and prevent this thing from coming back. So to do this, you're gonna need a Torx bit, a T27. So however you wanna do that, this is how you're gonna get the screws off. And there's gonna be 3 machine screws, like this. And then there's gonna be 1 coarse threaded plastic screw on top right here. That one is kind of hidden. And there's your recoil starter. So everyone's fear when removing parts off a machine and taking anything apart, their biggest fear is things just falling right out. But with this job, nothing is going to fall out. As soon as you take off the screws, everything is going to be intact. And this is how pretty much majority of recoil starters out there are. They're just simply a big old assembly, and you don't have to do really much to them. So let's go ahead and replace this rope. Let me show you guys what this rope looks like. So here's the recoil starter. As you can see, the rope is literally about to break. So I mean, I wouldn't say about to, it's unreliable on when this thing will break, but in the end, we just need to replace it because it's very easy to do. So let's get started. All right, so these can be a little bit tricky, but not to worry. Let's go ahead and get started. So what you're gonna wanna do is pull this rope out and just cut this rope and let it retract back in. So I'm just gonna cut this handle off here, and then I'm just going to hold this pulley. So you can see this pulley wants to pull the cord back in, and I'm just going to let off on it nice and easy, and just like that. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and remove the rope. And I'm gonna show you guys the basic way, and then you can skip the next step I'm gonna show you. But if you wanna go a little bit further, I'm gonna show you guys what to do here. So at this point, you're just going to pull the rope out like this, the old rope. And there you go. So now at this point, I'm gonna show you I'm going a little bit further. So you may wanna skip ahead if you don't wanna see this part, but I'm gonna show you guys how to lubricate the spring down in the bottom here. Okay, at this point, we're gonna go ahead and remove this little clip right here. And we're gonna pull this pulley out. And this is just to lubricate the spring down low, because what happens is these springs become rusted, and that's when your springs will eventually break. So take off that clip. There's also a little washer right here. Set that to the side. And then this pulley comes up, and that's it. This little pawl will fall out, but no worries. We can just leave it just like that. And as you can see, all this griminess in here, I'm gonna go ahead and blow that out. And then we're just gonna spray some lubricant in there, whether you have WD-40, some PB Blaster, silicone spray, it does not matter. Any sort of lubrication makes a difference. Even taking a glob of grease and greasing it will even make a difference as well. Okay, so I'm gonna take some compressed air here, and I'm just gonna blow this out. And all that spring dust is now out of there. All right, so now that we got that cleaned out, let's go ahead and spray with a little bit of grease or oil, whatever you're gonna be using. Just go ahead and douse that thing like so. All right, now that we lubricated this spring here, we're gonna take about 3.5 feet of rope. So get a tape measure or something. It doesn't have to be perfect, but around 3.5 feet of length is how long you want this rope here. So I'm gonna take some rope, and you can get this on Amazon. This is just 3mm rope, and I'm just going to measure this thing out here and get us a nice piece here. Okay, so 3.5 is roughly right there. We'll set that to the side, and we'll go ahead and cut this rope here where I marked it. Okay, now to make your life a little bit easier, take a little torch here and get yourself a shop rag or paper towel or something, as long as it's not on fire, but blow it out, and then take a paper towel or something and just run it across that thing, get that tip nice and pointy and hard looking, and that's going to allow this rope to be fished through the pulley easier. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with this side here. Blow that out. Okay, and just like that. All right, now we're going to take our handle here and we're just going to transfer our handle, because these things really never go bad unless you break them or something, but the rope in them is kind of hard, so it's going to take a little bit of finagling here, and we'll get this thing out of there like so. And now we'll just tie a little knot in here. So we're going to run this through here, tie a little knot on the end. I do a little figure 8 because it's fat and it allows it to tighten down on itself. And then the little tag in right there, I'm going to double it back here and I'm going to stick the tag into the hole with it. That way that tag doesn't stab the person, because it's hard from running that flame across it. So now we're going to install this new rope. Okay, now at this point, take your rope, put it through your eyelet like this. Okay, if you didn't pull the pulley out like we did, then you would just be doing the same thing I'm doing, but you're going to be doing it while the pulley is installed. So we're going to go ahead and install it into the pulley, and then we're going to set it in there because it's a little bit easier. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a whole lot easier, but it does make a difference. So run your rope through your pulley now, and then tie your little knot there like so, and then pull it through. And so the same thing with this one, I'm just going to stick the tag in to the bottom there, and then that way that tag doesn't stick up and catch on the clip or anything. And just like that. Okay, now we're going to slide our pulley in there, and the pulley has a little bit of a notch right there, and that notch aligns with the eyelet of that spring and just falls right in. Okay, now we're going to take our little washer here, throw it on top, and then we're going to take our little clip here, and the clip is going to point in the direction of the paw pointing, or the direction, the same direction that the paw is pointing. So that's kind of a mouthful there, but we're going to just put this down on here, and we're just going to snap it in place. So it's going to pop over like that, and I'm going to snap this little thing over. I'm trying to make it to where y'all can see it. Okay, just like that. And the clip is in. Nothing is binding. And now at this point, we are going to coil the spring. So this part gets a little bit tricky, but basically pull you out some slack here. And I'm trying to do this with a camera in my face, but you're just going to coil this thing around and give it about 5-6 revolutions there. And so when your hands get tired, just hold the pulley like that and then restart here. So I like to put it against my body and then turn it like this. One more, boom. Okay. And now at this point, you're going to hold your pulley and then untwist your rope, because when you were coiling it, the rope was twisting in place. Okay, and now we're just going to pull our rope out as we're untwisting it. So untwist and pull, untwist and pull. And this takes a little bit of strength, but you'll get the hang of it, and just be patient. And then at the end, it should look like that. So you can see there's no slack left. You got plenty of pull. And when you go to pull this thing, the paw should kick out. And then when you let go, it should retract back in just like that. All right, so there you have it. Out with the old rope and in with the new. So let's go ahead and reinstall it onto our blower here and see how it works. All right, so to reinstall it, just align it with the screw holes there, and it's just going to slide on nice and easy just like that. Remember, the 3 machine screws go onto the engine block right here, like so. One more on the bottom. And then the one really coarse threaded screw that looks like that goes into the plastic and it goes on top up here. All right, so, and then at the end of the day, this is what it should look like. So I have it off when I'm pulling it just to show you guys that this thing still works just like before. All right, guys, so that is it for repairing the recoil starter on your BG blower. This goes for almost all the BGs out there. They're all the same in some sort of way. Some of the easy starts are a little bit more tricky because they have two different springs, but there's all the same type of concept. So that is how you do it. Nice and easy, nothing to it. So hopefully this video helped you. If it did, make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and we'll catch you guys next time.